Hey Starfinders, it's me, your boy, GM Logar, Logar the Ogar, Mike Logan, Starfinder Infinite creator, Roll20 Design Dash champion, and unofficial PAX Unplugged superstar. Dead Sundays Enhanced has officially begun, and this John right here is the first episode of our new arc. I do give a small recap up top, but remember, if you really want all of the details, we do post catch-up videos for every book of the Dead Suns adventure path under the Dead Suns Abridged playlist, which is linked in the description below. This adventure starts with the characters on the crew of the characters on the bridge of the Spacewave Maiden. It describes some of the changes that we're going to make in the next season. Some of the stuff we pulled from Starfinder Enhanced, and as to how that relates to the personal quests that the characters will be going on, and some of the updated rules that we'll be using. No conversion. There's just more rules. Don't worry about it. And eventually, it pits the heroes against an unknown foe in the middle of the drift that may not be exactly what they seem. Spooky, I know. Yeah. What I want for you to do is I want you to go and like this video. I want you to hit that like button. I want you to subscribe to our channel, which is the channel that you are watching right now. And then what I want you to do is I want you to comment on this video about what your character would do and what is in your build that would help you defeat the encounters that the Starfinders have encountered in this adventure. That's one of the things that we're really interested in, is what other people are doing. What does your character look like? And we're probably going to be asking for almost every video, so make it good. And then pet your cat.
In the depths of space, darkness begins to stir. Its acolytes have unearthed a centuries-old weapon with the monstrous capability to destroy a star. Four unlikely heroes, members of the Starfinder Society, are the only ones capable of ending this threat before suns begin to die. Dead Sundays Enhanced, first and third Sundays of every month at 7 on Twitch TV/Logar the Ogar and YouTube at Dead Sundays.
Spit him out, Pax.
Gods help us all.
And we're live. Hi, welcome to Dead Sundays. Dead Sundays is the show where we play Starfinder on a Sunday. I cannot believe that when the promo was over and I was ready to talk, not a single person was telling me a story about like homemade mayonnaise or something.
So there I was, my head stuck in a honey jar, and oh wait.
Hi, hello, welcome. We are the cast of Dead Sundays, and there is a bunch of people watching us in the chat right now, and I'd like to say hello and thank you for coming. Dead Sundays is a show where we play Starfinder. We record a session of it, and you can watch it, and then we upload it to YouTube, and you can watch it again. And then you can come back to us live, and you can ask us questions, and tell us about your game, and do a bunch of other things that people do on Twitch, which I still haven't quite figured out why people like this, but we still do.
Honestly, if I can make an aside there, I would love to have more people tell us about not just things that are happening in their Starfinder games, but like specifically mechanics.
Yeah,
like character builds and how they dealt with things.
Yes,
yeah.
that would. So one of the things that I have realized is that there are two kinds of actual plays being produced right now. There is Baldur's Gate 3, the role playing fuckfest. That is one type of actual play, and then there's another
there's
actual
an audience
play.
For that.
There's an audience for that. There absolutely is, and I finally figured out why I didn't like Baldur's Gate 3 is because, dude, I don't want to hear about your fucking trauma. I don't want to hear it. I want to do sneak attack. That's what I want to do. I want to play Dungeons and Dragons. I want to play the game, but
I like trauma and fucking, so that worked for me.
Exactly. So, but there's, games like this have a lot of different things that are for a lot of different people. So the thing that we are making is very mechanics focused and it's very game forward. And the star of the show is Pathfinder, the game. And we're just kind of along for the ride, except for Zib, who was driving the show. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean that. I take it back. You're right. There is one one very important roleplay mechanic, and that is Zib Beverage gets all the news. So, in that vein, for this season of Dead Sundays, it is our third season. We're calling it Dead Sundays Enhanced, and I'm taking that chance of a start of a new arc to incorporate some of the rules that have been published in the last major rule book for Starfinder called Starfinder Enhanced. When Pathfinder was reaching its like 10-year mark,
Zenith?
Yeah, Zenith is a really good way to put it. They released a book called Pathfinder Unchained, which while it didn't change the game, it updated a lot of the rules. It took some of the kind of power bloat and rearranged it. It's interesting to me because that point is where Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition was like 2 years ago. Yeah. Is that they had this really unmanageable power creep and nobody could get into the game because there's too many goddamn rules. So what they did was they made Pathfinder 2. But before that, before they make a Pathfinder 2, they made Pathfinder Unchained, which introduced a lot of new rules, which was instrumental in leading to Starfinder Enhanced, which is going to introduce a bunch of new rules for us that is going to make it easier for me to plan stuff out for you and easier for you to do certain things. One of the biggest change. Actually, before we do that, can we do our favorite thing? Can we do a roll call and just make sure that everybody sounds good and knows what they're doing today and who they're playing? I'm gonna roll a d4 and we'll decide who goes first.
Me?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna roll a d4.
No, this is totally random.
It's totally random. And between 1 and 4, Beck goes first. I rolled a 4. Beck, could you please start us off and tell us what your name is, who your character is, and what they do?
I always go first. Hi, I'm Beck. I play Clara 247, part precog, part operative, and she's very tired.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for going first. Ryan, could you please do the thing that you do?
Okay. My name is Ryan, and I play Pax Duro, the Spacewave Maiden's soldier and big, strong lizard man.
Steph, how about you?
Hi, I'm Steph. I play Zib Beverage, the secret third Kelsey sibling.
Zib Kelsey Beverage, and dating superstar Starfinder lead Chiskisk secretly on and off again. And Ian, why don't you go ahead?
Hey, what's up? I'm Ian. I play Horatio Cruz, a normal, regular human student at the Arcana Miriam, the technomancer / fix-it guy of the ship.
Okay, and the four of you, thank you, perfect, thank you. And the four of you are currently traveling through the Drift, which is the hyperspace realm of Starfinder, and you're trying to find something called the Gate of the 12 Suns. Joining you on your ship is an AI who has sort of taken over the ship and had the is the ship. His name is Shepard. He started as your security robot back on Absalom Station, and then eventually evolved once he plugged himself into this into the spaceship. He kind of started changing and had this like soul awakening, and now he is a fully sentient AI who lives inside of the ship for now. You're also joined by Jimothy. Jimothy Tibula is a Dickensian bone boy. He is a mystic and a doctor and an engineer and a scientist and a computer expert and a lot of different things. And he is basically consistently in your employ as a gopher NPC that you can use to do whatever you need to do. Jimothy is 200 years old, 150, 165. We gave him an age, but it did not didn't stick in my brain because it doesn't matter.
He still looks cherubic. Yeah, he's like a little toe-headed rapscallion.
Yeah,
who eats scraps.
No, he doesn't eat anything. He drinks Monster Energy drink, but he can't actually drink it because he doesn't have a stomach. So he just kind of pours it all over himself and stays up all night and plays Space Fortnite because he doesn't sleep. So
just sticky bones. That's all I could think. He's just got sticky bones.
Yeah, I like that.
His hands are just
got to. I mean,
covered in
it.
Gamer goo. His hands are just like
don't call it that.
He's been pouring gamer goo down his non-existent throat. His ribs are probably just neon green with stalactites of sugar. It's disgusting.
the episode of Futurama where Fry drinks like all that slurm and he starts glowing? It's like that.
It's the episode. It's the Slurm episode. Yeah,
It's
I don't know what episode it is.
Wham wham wazzle.
And you guys live and travel on this spaceship, and who are currently trying to get to the Gate of the 12 Suns, which is supposed to give you more information about something called the Stellar Degenerator.
Wait. Hold up. The Gate of the 12 Suns?
Yes.
I thought it was the Gate of the 13.
I thought it was 13.
No. Okay, so we had this. Yes, completely understandable. So it is the Gate of the 12 Suns. It is in Castrovel. You guys went to the Temple of the 12, which was a temple that revered this thing in the sky that was a circle of 12 stars. The adventure module that we are about to embark on is called the 13th Gate.
Oh, it's a gate, not a sun. Okay, I got it.
12 suns, 13 gates. Got
Understood.
Okay. So, and I accidentally tweeted the other day that we were going to be playing the 12th gate, and I was mortified for 3 days because I tweeted something that'll live on the internet forever. That was wrong. You can't do that. All right, I'm going to start some background music real quick. We cruising. All right, give it a second. We use Sirenscape for all of our background stuff. It has a really good integration right into the Foundry virtual tabletop that we use. It was a really simple plugin, and I can control and import all of the pre-made Dead Suns playlists for us to use, and they are all categorized in the way that they're categorized in the book, which is great. So we have just a couple things to go over real quick. You know that you're going to this place after going to... you were in Istamok, which was a highly advanced city that was falling to decay. You met a bunch of the descendants of the people who built that city. It had been decaying for over 1,000 years. You found information about where this stellar degenerator was and a little bit about its history, and you found out where you should go and presumably where the stellar degenerator is as well. Unfortunately, the cult of the Devourer was ahead of you, and they learned where the stellar degenerator was before you did. They want to get the super weapon because they want to turn it on and destroy the universe, because as the cult of the Devourer, they worship the Devourer, who wants to is less of a god and more as a concept of the ultimate destruction of the universe, and they're a doomsday cult. So it's kind of like your moral and social obligation to not let them do that. Seems bad. But while you've been traveling in the drift, it takes about 6 days to get there. This would be about the last day. You've had a bunch of different things that have gone on. You played a couple different games with Jimothy. You played a game called Eldritch Automata. You played a game called Star Pirate Borg, and you basically have had time to fully recover and repair anything that needed to repair and get your shit together, as well as review some of the things that happened to you. So as a random, go ahead.
Just random question. So both of those games took place within the Starfinder universe. It was our characters playing those characters, right?
Correct.
So who is this fifth person who joined us on Pirate Borg? Like,
So-
which member of the crew was doubling up?
No, so Eldritch Automata was the board game that you guys played, and the Star Pirate Borg was a VR game that you guys played on the internet. So you had a random fifth person. You pugged that last person.
It was a pug.
It was a backfill. Okay,
Yeah.
They were fantastic. They were awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you ever squat up and then you just get that one guy and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get this random guy, and then he turns out to be the best guy. That's what happened.
It's a good thing that person was there, because they carried the pug.
They really did. Yeah, weird. Wouldn't have had a show without them. What a surprise. But yes, that is what happened. Jimothy bought a board game called Eldritch Automata he wanted to play, and then Bonesmith Jacqueline, your pirate skeleton friend from Eox, sold her likeness to be in a video game that you guys played a couple weeks ago. And you can find those videos. You can find those videos on our YouTube channel. If you're watching there on YouTube right now, that's great. If not, you can find it right here, and they're very good, and you should watch them. Oh my God, Logan, you absolute fool!
You too, Bay.
What a prick, am I right?
You too, Bay.
Okay. In your Foundry sheets. Oops, I think I fucked up. I did fuck up. All right, hold on. I have made you guys a journal entry. And it's called Enhanced. And in Enhanced are the character-specific things that we have done for you, as well as the new uses for resolve points from Starfinder Enhanced, as well as the house rules that we've been using up until now. Each page has a different character on it, and each character has a couple different things that they are doing. For example, Clara, it has all of your scope things and how the scope on your rifle works, because it is like 7 different things in one, as well as what happens when you read your special notebook that you have, which we'll get to those in a minute. Each of you who have a personal quest, which is all of you, those are detailed in here as well as things that I have given you that might not have come up that much and aren't necessarily like in the rules to like look up. Hello, Pernicious
Gotcha.
Dude 1 gigabyte. Thank you for coming.
Hey, dude. What's up, Pernicious?
Most importantly, however, there is this page here, which is the new resolve point uses. The new resolve point uses from Starfinder Enhanced are something that we are going to be incorporating into the game starting today. They are awesome. They take a sort of underused resource that your characters have, and they let you use them similarly to hero points in Pathfinder 2. You can do things like cancel a critical, gain an extra reaction, do an instant reload. They do an instant reload, as well as other things like quick fusion, rapid moves, skilled hacker, or a ability that was pulled directly from Pathfinder 2, which is called Just the Thing, which is you spend a resolve point or two, and then you reach into your bag and you pull out the thing that you definitely bought a week ago.
You know what? The Marvel role-playing game from like 1982 had that same mechanic, and it was really cool. It was called like, I think it was just like your resources mechanic.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because it was like if you're a student, you have like a ranking of 1 or 2 because you have enough pocket change to play a pinball machine or to buy a Coke. But if you're like Tony Stark, you had it like almost maxed out. And I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I like that as a mechanic, because like you can, if you're playing like, oh, I'm a Batman style character, I'm always prepared. Well, now you actually are.
Yeah. There is one caveat, however. As part of their social media journey, Zib Beverage has gained fame throughout the pack world.
Oh no!
They have also gained access to something called the Influencer Gold Card, which when they make purchases that are approved by me, they can purchase consumables at half price. Now, the Just the Thing ability lets you pull out whatever you want and pay full price. Just remember that. If you use a resolve point, you're not going through the proper channel, and you actually got that from somewhere else, and you have to pay the full credit price. Go ahead.
So you said that Enhanced changes nothing on our character sheets, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then somewhere between the last time we played and now, Pax Duro has gained a bunch of skill ranks they should not have.
He sure has, and we're going to talk about that right now. So at the end of Season 2, everybody got more details about their personal quests. We just mentioned Zibs. Zibs is continuing their job of being an influencer and gaining fame throughout the pack worlds. They currently have a ranking that... So what I did was I gave Zib and Pax a background skill that is equal to their character level. And you level that up by doing specific actions throughout the adventure. Zib will be using Clip It to make posts. Pax will be engaging, defeating, and cataloging new monsters that he fights. So while Zib is using the hyperdirectional multi-camera to upload shorts to the to the space social media, PAX will be carrying around this very, very heavy book titled The Unofficial Official Mind Wars Alien Archive.
Yeah. PAX wants to be the very Vesk, like no one ever was.
God damn it.
Have not been sitting on
Very
that
good.
one for a week.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Very good. Is that it? Are we done? Like that's 2.5 years right there, right? So what Zib will have to do is make a post and pass a check. All PAX will have to do is specifically say that he wants to catalog this monster, and once you do that 5 times, you will level up. However, you cannot level up if your background skill would be higher than your character level. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That is a cap that we're putting on it. Each level that Pax goes up, his special skill that he has called Xenoseeking allows him to bypass all of the requirements to identify a creature and use the Xenoseeking skill instead. So you're always going to have extra skill ranks equal to your character level. Or equal to your Xenoseeking level.
Makes perfect sense.
Zib, on the other hand, is going to level up their fame skill, and they are going to have access they're going to get some kind of reward every level. So last level was the Influencer Gold card. The next 2 or 3 levels will just be credit payouts, and then after that, I think I have to look at my notes again, but once you get to level 11 or 12, you might get a branded weapon from a specialty manufacturer that you always have to have on you that gives you some kind of bonus, but there is also the caveat that you constantly have to have it, or you don't get any bonus. So you're going to be becoming very familiar with brand deals and paid promotions in your Starfinder space role-playing game.
This is my Stanley laser rifle that's slowly giving me lead poisoning.
So we do have other 2 personal quests. They are Clara has had these headaches caused by temporal maladies for the past 2 years, and presumably the hostess left Clara a paperback notebook or a paperback book of poetry called Meditations for Temporal Maladies. This book talks about the banality of time and how boring it is. And by reviewing these and meditating on them, you will be able to quell some of those headaches. And if you perform the proper downtime activity, you will gain a bonus the next day. The bonus for you is when you spend your paradoxes, you can either add +1 or -1 to any paradox that you spend, if you succeed at the downtime activity the night before. The personal quest that Raj has gained access to is about Shepard. Shepard has found something either within the build of the Spacewave Maiden or within its databanks that he cannot access. He doesn't know what it is. Shepard is part of the ship. He's an AI, and the ship is his body. He needs help with someone to explore some of these access panels and things and run hacking attempts in order to find whatever is hidden in there and why it's hidden in there and why it's important. This is not going to come up today, but probably from the next episode on, you're going to have access to a very similar downtime activity that you don't have to be on the ship on because you can get a copy of it to carry around with you. And that will give you a very similar bonus the next day to your technomancy.
Okay.
Bringing that up, there is one more thing about Starfinder that we've never really talked about, and it's the idea of downtime activities. Now, if you go into the journal, you open up the Starfinder RPG rules and click on the downtime button, you will be accosted with a long list of things that you can do in your downtime, which means before you go to sleep. Wait,
where is this in the journal?
Wow,
it should be,
that is a lot.
There's been a lot added over the past couple years, and then I think a lot were added in enhanced as well.
Oh, if I just type in downtime? Okay.
So you go to journal and then Starfinder RPG rules.
Yeah, here we go.
And then downtime.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much.
It's a lot, and some of them are not relevant and won't be relevant at all. Some of them.
Number 22 seems very relevant to Zib.
There's actually, if I remember right, there's like a lot of stuff an idol can do in downtime. Yeah, entertain, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I found workout. PAX has his downtime activity now.
Yes, but if you read what workout actually does, you train for 7 days, either your athletics or your acrobatics, and then you get to re-roll one check in the next day. So you train for 7 days, and then you get to use it one time.
That's kind of how working out actually feels.
Yeah, actually,
I guess that's a good point.
You just Peter Griffin on the ground and grab your knee because your calves all just tensed up because goddamn leg day.
Pernicious Dude asks, what about me, the audience? What do I get? You get another season of your favorite Starfinder acro play, Dead Sundays. Guess what you get.
But wait. Couldn't the audience be part of Zib's package somehow?
Oh,
I think it'd be kind of
say it some other way.
All right, sorry.
Different word, please.
Couldn't it be possible? Couldn't it be possible that the audience works into Zib's characters somehow? Like their influencer feats can somehow interact with chat.
Write that down and send it to me later. Can chat
talk with Zib?
So here's the thing.
Like the chat points, like the redeems get all of chat on my side so I can start and use the spirit bomb.
I mean, I would love to see like a redemption for like 20,000 points. Zib crits. Zib must crit. That's the redemption.
Zib must make an apology video.
So do you mean like actual Zib does a notes app apology? Zib does a notes app apology, and then next week they do a ukulele apology.
Zib opens up tax return documents on stream to uncover directories full of. Oh, I'm sorry.
How about it? Use Google Trends instead of Zib like hitting for a specific damage 1 through 100. Steph can just pick a term, and then depending on how much that term like hit that day, that's how many points they get.
We'll talk about it.
This is a whole new tabletop RPG system that you've just invented, Ryan.
There's so much at play here now. Oh, thank you for
relying on Twitch chat to become the worst TF2 weapon.
Yeah, it's Twitch plays Zib Beverage. So downtime activities. We talked about that. We talked about your personal quests. We talked about resolve point things that you should do. There is one in there that is not listed. We're going to try it out. You can spend at any time. You can spend 2 resolve points to get a +1 to your roll. Because I've been trying to find the thing that lets you get a +1, and I just can't find it. But I think now looking at these, the formula is 2 resolve points +1, and I will tell you when it is appropriate. I'm going to ask, and like I said, listen, you needed a 20, you rolled a 19. Do you want to spend 2? And you will, because I wanted it to be very open, very above the table, very mechanic based.
Okay.
The contrast to that is that since we have so many new uses of resolve points, I'm going to start rewarding resolve points for good ideas, good role playing, good use of mechanics, stuff like that, much more often. Because now that's a resource that we can constantly cycle, and it works more like hero points and inspiration, and I think that's going to create like a very good gameplay loop of you guys trying to win these back, and then you spend them, and then you win them back. Of course, it's Starfinder, so now you have to keep track of 10 different resources at all times, and fuck you.
Yes, very good.
So,
spoken like a true games master.
Yep. Okay. Also, if you look at all of your sheets, you will notice that they've been cleaned up a bit. You guys all have batteries, you have ammunition, you have several different guns, and everything should be in the place that it is. Everything should be in the place that it is. All right, so before we really get into it, do you guys have any questions?
Not right now. I figure we'll just come across this stuff as we go.
Okay. Gotta wet my whistle.
Like, I'm assuming that you're going to say, hey, now is downtime. Everybody pick a thing to do in downtime.
Correct. And you don't always have to do something, because sometimes there's not something
Okay.
that's appropriate. Sometimes, it's not a thing that you would gain any benefit from. But I want you guys to look at the list and at least know that they are available, because it's a thing that is gaining more and more traction, especially in it's going to be important in Starfinder 2 as well. It's a big deal. So I want you guys to get familiar with the idea as we move forward.
You got it.
So, the last thing that you guys found out before you left was that there is a galactic superweapon buried somewhere in space in a system called, roughly, the Gate of the 12 Suns. 12 Suns, Circle of Suns, something, 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 demiplane, contains the entrance to this place where the stellar degenerator is. The things you know about the stellar degenerator are it was made by a group of people called the Civs, and it was stolen from them by the Kishali, who you met their descendants, and then the Kishali fired it one time. And it was so terrible that they decided to never fire it again. But once some of their politicians brought up the idea of another unwinnable war, instead of destroying it, they decided to hide it. And they made this Gate of the 12 Suns situation as a way to open a demiplane and hide the stellar degenerator. And that was probably, 1,500 years ago, which would have placed it sometime in the gap. Or perhaps before that. I'm actually not sure. Who knows?
Scholars say that the gap happened at least 3,000 years ago, or 3 millennia ago.
Yeah, and that's about right. And follow-up question, is there history from the gap? Like, if I said, like, oh, that happened 15 years ago, or 1,500 years ago, placing it in the gap, did the gap remove the things that we wrote down in that time, too?
Raj would not know this. And Ian does not remember this either, because it's been a little bit since I've read the original rule.
I also do not remember this.
If
Chat!
If I remember correctly, anything that happened within the gap, there is no record of. But there is record of things that happened pre-gap.
Right. Okay.
So it's sort of like you've forgotten, like, the Renaissance through, like, World War II. But everything before the Renaissance era, you do still have records of.
Homie, I don't remember those at all.
And weirdly, the gap length is different depending on where you are in the galaxy. So some people awoke from the gap, like, at date X, and other people awoke from the gap at date Y.
It's a couple, and in the discrepancy, it's like a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
Which is concerning. But what I love about the gap as, like, a narrative vehicle is that, like, they're just like, yeah, like, we don't know. What is it? Yeah. We don't know. We'll never have to explain it. Because you know why?
Because the wizard did it, or not.
The wizard did it.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah. The gods don't even know.
Why are all the drow on Frank Frazetta planet that has cotton candy beaches? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
How come all the liches are just successful trucking and waste management specialists now? Who knows?
Who knows? So, the four of you are on the deck of the Spacewave Maiden. It looks real big, like that. It's nice. And you are currently flying through the drift. Let me actually put you guys in a slightly different spot. And after you have reviewed your mission, talked to your friends, figured everything out, you've now spent a couple days in hyperspace just going to where you're going. You've got about a day left, and you know that you're starting to get closer to where you're supposed to be. The thing about drift travel is that it is never as straightforward as you think it would be. The problem with drift travel is that you could, theoretically, send a message through the drift to another drift beacon, and then fly to that drift beacon yourself and arrive there before the message does. It's inconsistent, it's hard to plan, and you never really know how long it's going to take until you are actually doing it. So you have about a day left, and it's becoming pretty clear that you're ramping up to be close to the end of your drift journey. The drift is this very purpley, infinite expanse of nothingness that, but kind of every once in a while, you'll see a really like random chunk of something out the window. You see these like rotating colors of like blue and purple and then teal and red, and then you'll look a little bit further and there'll be like a cloud of dust or something, and then just to the right of that cloud will be a volcano that is not attached to anything, and it's spewing lava from its mouth as the rest of the drift seems to go on uncaring. You fly a little bit further and you see a giant whale out the side of the other window. It's because the drift is made up of pieces of the other planes. Every time someone activates a drift engine anywhere, at any time, a random chunk of a random plane is ripped from that plane and transported to the drift. And every time that happens, the drift gets that much bigger. So while you're floating in what seems like an empty, dark ocean of purple energy and driftness, you do come across, every once in a while, a big chunk of something. As you go a little bit further, there is what looks like one of those clouds directly in front of you. And you pass through it, and you can kind of hear like the little like tick, 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 as very, very, very tiny pieces of something are bumping up against your hull.
I'm gonna run a scan.
Why don't you go ahead and make a computer's check?
Yeah.
While he's doing that, is that normal that things would contact the hull of the ship, or is that an unusual situation? I would assume there'd be like a shield or something magnetic.
Right. No, you're right. Yes, let's walk that back a minute. You can see that like actually, that's a very good point. You're right. It does not touch the shield at all. It is a very, very very normal space dust. Thank you. That is kind of like just brushing up against the hull. It's not big enough or fast enough to get blocked by your shields.
Because the way that kinetic shields work is that if something has like a terminal velocity, it'll stop it, but not like floating detritus. So.
Right. So you run this computer check, and it seems that the things in front of you aren't like little space dusts. They are little tiny pieces of metal, but you can't get a clear view of what they are. Unfortunately, when that happens, you start to notice that there is something happening underneath the console of your spaceship. There's some kind of like sudden interference in both your scanner and your viewing screen of whatever you're scanning. I have to do something real quick.
Pax just smacks the side of his console.
Shepard, this isn't working. Please get my console working.
So all of your consoles are kind of glitching out for a second, and when Pax smacks the terminal in front of him, Shepard's face pops up, and you can see it's like a little distorted, and it's not the way that it's supposed to be. And he says, Starfinders, I have rebuked something.
That is a word I do not know. Please simplify it for me.
Sure, Pax. I blocked an attack.
What kind of attack? Like a cyber attack?
There's something in the ship. Please make another computer check.
Okay.
Okay. You start running scans, and you realize that there is an attack by some unknown entity attempting to take control and search the data drives of the spaceship that you're on, the Spacewave Maiden. Your roll was high enough to let you know that the hacking is coming from inside the computer. So there is something in the computer hacking the computer.
I shoot the computer.
That's the end of season 3.
I think I'm more prudent. I mean, that's not a terrible thing, but I think what we could do is probably isolate what hasn't been affected. Is that a thing I can do, Star Master?
Yeah, that's a perfectly you can try to search and contain the thing, right? That's what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and make another computer check. Perfect. Okay, this absolutely fantastic. So you find the main source of where this hack is coming from, and it's coming from the call is coming from inside the house. There is something inside of the console, in specifically the bridge, that is attempting to take control and search through the part of the part of the Spacewave Maiden that determines like where it goes and the navigation and the controls for the entire ship. You manage to block off the rest of the circuitry so it can't spread to anything else and affect the systems directly. Okay. But as soon as you do, all of the terminals start to flicker and distort until they all stop and they go blank. Now, the inside of the Spacewave Maiden is a bisexual lighting fuckfest. It is purples and blues and red, and it's very nice and it looks very cool. When you first found the Sunrise Maiden, before Shepard plugged himself into it, it was a normal looking ship. It was red and white, it had blue glows, it looked like it was fresh off the lot, the Starship Salesman lot, and looked like a regular spaceship. But
one guy doing this.
Yeah, but when Shepard jacked into it for the first time, nope. But when Shepard interfaced with it for the first time, it changed. It rewrote itself. It rewrote its identity to be, instead of the Sunrise Maiden, it became the Spacewave Maiden, and its whole lighting and identity changed to this very Spacewave themed ship. As the consoles go dark, all of the identifying features of the Spacewave Maiden also go dark, and it starts to revert back to what you guys would know as the Sunrise Maiden. On the console, you see the name Spacewave Maiden. The cursor deletes itself and rewrites the Sunrise Maiden. Immediately,
the wallpaper is going back to the default Windows XP wallpaper.
Who hit the factory reset?
You're taking away my aesthetic.
Out of the cracks in the consoles around you, out of the very small, tiny spaces that are in between the buttons, these tiny gaps in between molecules, come a cloud of microscopic metal that eventually forms as a thing in front of you. It escapes the confines of the terminals of the bridge and then constitutes itself as a creature standing in front of you on your spaceship. And it says this: please don't be loud, please don't be loud, please don't be loud.
Interlopers, you will cease your transgression and return to your place of origin, or be destroyed.
Did you guys get all that?
Yeah, apparently we're interlopers and we need to cease our transgression. Got it.
Correct. So in front of you is a very aggressive looking, very strange person. I am going to... Oops, I wanted to show you a picture of him, but I don't know if I can.
Kind of rude to not just call us and tell us that. Instead, like, just take the ship over and then show up in person.
Yes, very rude.
Call us?
Very rude. Before anything else, I want you guys all to make a, if you're trained in it, make a mysticism check to identify the creature. Pax, you're going to use your Xeno-seeking ability instead.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's nice.
Not.
Yeah, Raj is just like, what the fuck?
So, I'm going to let you guys know that you know what you rolled. You know how much you know about stuff. You don't know what this is, which means that this is some shit.
It means I can put it in my Pokédex.
Yes, you can. Yep. Once you kill it and engage it and defeat it, you are able to put it in your space Pokédex. I am going to create a journal entry. We're just going to call this Nano Machine Man. He is a man of nanomachines.
I am going to find your vital organs.
Gross. Okay.
Zib turns his camera on. Chat, if you can tell me what this is, I'll send you autograph merch.
So we do have to talk about that. You cannot talk to chat.
It'll get back to me whenever, like some other day.
Fair enough. All right, so okay, now is the perfect time for you to use Clip It.
Oh, great, cool, thank you.
Clip It is the special ability that we have given Zib and their Omni camera to upload clips of their adventure to their adoring fans. The first thing that they have to do is roll a computer's check and meet the DC. I don't know if that does it.
Damn. My computer's getting sloppy.
Yep, you have to hit a 19.
Dang.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you're like fumbling with it, and you just can't do it. You're like, oh no. You're not ready, at all, and you fumble. A man has appeared. A man made of dust has appeared on your spaceship. You can't handle that. You can't manage to upload anything.
I got a terrifying question. Is it a swarm of dust or is it a man of dust?
Yes.
I'm so upset.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
No.
The answer is yes. I don't know.
Why is
That's
the answer?
wrong answer.
Why is the answer yes? Why is it not no?
The answer is yes. It's not no.
We need to just open the windows and let it escape back into space.
Clara doesn't need to breathe. Let's just open the windshield and whoosh.
What? Huh.
Zib's thinking
I'm not saying that wouldn't work, actually.
Yeah, it's just like, why can't we just vent the atmosphere? Everyone who's got lungs, run to the back. Everyone else, shoot the windows out.
So, to answer your question more specifically, it is not a swarm. But it sure does look like a swarm. Like, it's clearly...
Swarmy.
It's got a real swarmy vibe. And if you're at home, you're wondering, why is the swarm a big deal? Fighting against swarms in Starfinder is not advisable. And you have to
fighting against swarms in any tabletop role-playing game is the
Yeah.
absolute worst. Yeah.
I mean, our swarm specialist is Zib, but that means grenades, and grenades in the cockpit of our ship seems like a bad plan.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to worry about that. That's not a thing that I want to worry about right now. Not unless you
Blow
want to
his
do it on
ass
purpose.
up. Steph, blow his ass up.
That's not a thing I
I
want to worry
haven't
about.
gone to the grenade store.
You haven't had a chance to go to the grenade store, but I am going to
Spend
tell
a
you...
resolve point. You've gone to the grenade
Oh.
store.
Pay full price. Zip has no money.
Yeah, it's crazy how I have $0. I forgot about that.
Spend 2 resolve points. 1 to get money, 2 to get the grenade.
Absolutely not. So, unless you guys have something you want to do or say, we are about to hop into combat. But before we do that, before you want to do or say anything, Zib, please make me a sense motive check.
Oh, hell yeah, finally.
One of the things I want to do this season is I want to give you way more opportunities to use sense motive. Situations like this, if it's not entirely perception based, you are going to be able to use sense motive, and we're just going to treat it like a vibe check. Because it's wisdom based, you're good at it, perfect. So I'm adding you all to the combat tracker. Here we go. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, I'm sorry. Zip, that was a great roll. So you see this guy in front of you. He comes out and he's stuttering and he's yelling at you, and he's yelling at you about transgressions, and you have no idea what this creature or this person is. He looks vaguely humanoid in that he has a face and 2 arms, but he's also a gigantic armor-clad swarm nanomachine man. And you don't know what the fuck that is. But what you can tell is that there's definitely something wrong with him. This is not... The vibe is off. This is not his default, like...
Team, the vibes are fucked.
The vibes are fucked.
That's
There's
the only
something...
information you have. Bad
There's
vibes.
something wrong with this guy. Like, there is clearly something affecting him, and he is not of his right mind. Now, before we start combat, I want you guys to know that it is possible to talk him down. We haven't really played with this before in a specific way because it's kind of difficult to do. I will tell you that he starts out as hostile, and in order to get him to unfriendly, you have to talk to him for 5 rounds straight. And then at the end of that 5 rounds, you have to make a diplomacy check of 44.
Wow.
Okay?
Undertale.
Now, while you are talking to him, he is going to maybe respond, and there is a possibility that some of the things or actions that you take may influence that check. But I'm also going to tell you up front that it's a 44. Which is
Easy,
kind of a lot.
What?
You missed all the shots you don't take.
You miss all the shots you don't take. So I am going to open the combat tracker.
Oh, wait, you said anyone who wanted to do anything? Can I jump in front of Jimothy? Because we got a little Dickensian bone boy who's responsible for our social media presence. I don't want him getting shot.
Totally fine. So you can move yourself to in front of... I'll just put you right here. Yeah.
Thank you. Because surprisingly, I can't move myself.
Because the
game's still paused.
Game's paused.
There we go.
All right. Everybody, please open the combat tracker and roll your initiative.
It's good to be back, baby.
God, it is.
It's
It's been
not that
a
good to
while,
be back.
hasn't it?
It's not that good
go.
to be back.
Improved
And
initiative coming through
It's
once again.
fine.
We haven't seen what they roll yet. Because
you.
back, that might be perfect.
Oh.
It wasn't perfect.
It's true. I hate going
No,
first.
this is scary
usually,
now.
so.
Yeah.
Okay. Here is our combat order. Let me make sure that everybody can see it. Okay. Yes. Pernicious says that in their game they managed to talk him down, which is impressive. I don't know. I can care less what you guys do. Pax, you're up first.
Well, I'm not going to talk him down. I'm going to hit him with my sword. God, it's been so long since I've done this. I don't even remember where my sword is. There we go. Respectful decline. Let's go. Does a 30 hit?
Absolutely.
25 damage.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you
Damn,
run.
works.
You sprint across the bridge in a.
Enhanced.
The first thing you did, yeah, an enhanced hit. Very good. Thank you. The first thing you do is you shove Jimothy out of the way. And back into the garter chair that you were in, and then you take the respectful decline and you cleave him across the chest with it. And as you hit him, you see that he breaks apart into kind of like a swarm of nanites where you hit him a little bit. Mechanically, that doesn't really mean anything, but it what constitutes his body becomes nanites and then reforms again.
Okay.
That's your turn. It's the Inevitable's turn. The Inevitable is going to
That's a good name.
Good
Yeah.
name. Solid name.
It's really got. I hope this is.
Too bad we can't learn more about him because we're gonna kill him.
Too bad.
That's great.
Yeah,
Certainly hope he's
bad.
not a. You know what though, Beck? This is clearly not a one-off. This is the antagonist for the rest of the season. With a name like that, they're coming back.
The Inevitable is going to do something kind of crazy.
Oh,
he
no!
is going to take a full attack on Pax Duro. Now,
That's not that
while
crazy.
Boy, fuck it up.
That's
boy,
not
boy,
that-
fuck
that's
it
not
up,
that
boy.
crazy.
Yeah. Maybe
while
you've tried that beforehand.
he has an ability called Inevitable Onslaught, which gives him 3 melee attacks instead of 2, but he does take a higher penalty.
Oh shit, it's Space Devil. You've just made Space Devil the bad guy.
I didn't do anything. So this is at a -6. Actually, I'll just make these two just like that. 33 hit you?
Amazingly, it does hit.
19
All right, I'll take 19 damage.
and a 26.
26 does not. Well, is it? No, it doesn't hit anything, so it doesn't hit.
Okay, so you're gonna take so the 19 was against your KAC. That was an attack. You're gonna get hit 1 time.
Right. Take 19 damage. I am down to.
No. Oh wow! Holy shit.
What?
The 19 again was an attack roll, not a damage roll.
Yep.
But then he rolled
Yep.
damage, and it was 19. Very good.
Okay, perfect. I'll take that damage.
That's his whole turn. Horatio, what's your turn? There is a nanomachine man in front of you, and something's wrong with him.
Captain, are we parlaying with this thing, or are we attacking it?
I mean, I'm gonna parlay with this thing.
Okay, good. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to cast Fluid Morphism on Captain and give the Captain a +2 enhancement bonus to Charisma.
Love that. Can you click the spell?
Absolutely.
I thought you were gonna do the other one where I become a cloud of dust. I'll be like, I'm just like you. I'm just like you.
That's a good move.
Okay. So remember, one of the things that you got at the end of last season was you got a very special care package from Absalom Station. Your parents took some money and they got you an upgrade kit for the diffractor armor that you wear. When you cast a spell, your caster level is considered 1 higher for durations, for range, and for caster level checks. So this actually lasts 8 minutes per level +1.
Okay.
And
So like 2 hours. So Zib's gonna be super charismatic for 2 hours now.
well, no, it'd be 12 minutes or
12 minutes,
10
sorry.
minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes, yeah.
And okay,
I mean, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
good length for a video, Seb.
yeah. Like when you do your react to us having this fight later on, it's gonna be really good.
So that's going to last 10 rounds. Morphism. I don't have a way to track these in Foundry yet, so I just write them down. And that's going to pop off at round 13. Okay. Do you want to move?
Yeah, I'm actually going to bop there.
Excellent. Thank you. Clara, it is your turn.
Yeah, why did this thing have to manifest like right in front of the pilot's chair? I'm gonna back up now. Let's see here.
Wait, do we know if it has a range? Did it attack me with a ranged weapon or a melee weapon?
It was a melee weapon.
Oh, all right.
And then I would like to shoot it now.
Holy shit, you're so far.
Yeah, I have a movement of 40 and I went
know.
30.
Okay, so hold on. First things first, you moved out of his space, so he's going to
Yeah,
attack you.
attack of opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to hit you.
Okay, wait.
It's going to hit me?
Yeah.
Question, because we've never run into this situation before. I've been waiting to ask. Can I take half of Clara's damage as my reaction to an attack of opportunity?
I'm going to say yeah. There's no reason that you
Okay.
couldn't do that. Yeah.
Sweet.
That hits.
So you each
All right.
take 13
Yep.
Cool.
slashing damage. Okay, and now Clara, you're far away. Now, one of the things that we're really going to start paying attention to is cover. So there are all of your friends in between you and the inevitable.
Walls? Wait, where
Right.
What are the little white bits?
I'm sorry?
Are these walls like the thing that is behind Raj? The little white beige bit?
Those are doors.
But I think the door is open, right?
Yeah, it can be open. It's open. Raj is standing there. It's open.
Raj standing there like in an elevator.
Yeah. So you're saying Zib and Raj are creating partial cover for both me and the Inevitable?
They are creating soft cover.
Soft cover.
Which gives him a +4.
Because we are literally soft.
Gross.
Well, speak for yourself, human.
Yes, some of us have exoskeletons. Not me, some of us.
So I will tell you, that part of what your scope does is remove or reduce cover bonuses from AC.
Isn't that a move action to use, though?
It is not. It's a swift action.
It's a swift action.
So
okay.
It is a move action to look through the scope. It's a swift action to turn it on. And that, hold on, I'm sorry, let me start over. The scope does a bunch of different things.
Right.
If you don't turn it on, it is a move action to look through the scope, and the scope, combined with the laser that's attached to it, will reduce cover by 4 and double the range of your sniper ability. If you use a swift action, if you use a swift action to power the scope, you use a move action to look through it. It does those reduce and reduce cover and expand the sniper, but it also will reveal invisible creatures and incorporeal things inside of walls.
Right.
Okay?
Right. I've already moved this round, though.
Right, which I totally forgot about.
That's completely fine. So let's do switch action to turn it on this time around, just in case we need it.
Okay. Last
and
for
then
10 minutes.
Yeah, and then I will shoot as normal, and then I can look through next round unless I need to reposition myself.
Okay. Go do a shoot.
Let's do it.
Nope.
Worth a shot.
Zib, it's your turn.
Cool. I would like to have a chat and improve his disposition, or whatever that is called. I always forget.
Okay. So the way that we're going to do this is you're going to say the things that you want to say as a standard action. You can take a move action if you like, but you do have to say something every round that he will then respond to, and that conversation will determine the final DC for talking him down.
Okay. So I would like to ask him, what are we interloping? Who do you think we are?
Okay, he'll answer that on his turn. What do you think we're interloping? Okay. And then you can have a move action.
I feel like moving away from him is not like a diplomatic action. Like if I'm doing diplomacy from like through a doorway, that doesn't seem right.
Well, you could force him to talk. Like if he's just stuck in a room with Pax and everyone else is way back, like that's the best thing for him to do is to speak to us.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'll head back towards the door.
Okay.
Get support from my manager. Mr. Fuji throws sand in his eyes if he comes up to me.
Jimothy's on the other side of the wall, and he's like, "You're doing great." Pax, it's your turn.
All right, I caught that Captain is going to try and talk this one out, so I'm going to take a 5-foot step, and as my standard action, I'm going to use total defense, so my AC is now +4, but I don't get to attack.
Okay. The Inevitable points at Zib, and he says, "Cult of the Devourer, interlopers." And he points at all three of you, and he says, "Your cruelty knows no bounds." And then he attacks Pax once again.
Wait, there's 4 of us. Which one does he not think is Cult of the Devourer? Actually, there's 5 of us.
The one that's not in the room.
Oh.
He just says all of you.
Okay. So he didn't like point specifically at Geomethy and say Cult of the Devourer or anything.
No.
Okay.
Racist. All Eoxians are part of the cult.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm gonna cancel the inevitable. Chad, do you believe this guy?
With good editing, I mean.
Steph, did you see the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No.
Leatherface jumps onto a bus full of influencers, and they're like, "I'm gonna cancel you," and he just.
Jesus.
It's actually really good.
36 is what you'd have to beat, and you did not.
Okay. All right. So that's his turn. Horatio, it's your turn.
Okay. So Captain already has handsome juice on them.
Yeah.
The
Please
Pax
don't use that phrase again.
Pax is face to face with that guy. What
Yeah.
do I want to do? All right, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Microbot Assault and like float the cloud right where the Fracas is, like in
Okay.
between Pax and the Inevitable. So Pax at least has, it's harrying fire and then also covering fire. Like it acts as both.
Okay.
So
Like that?
yeah.
Can you click the
Give
spell?
me one. Yep. Give me 1 second here.
So you look at this nanomachine microbot man, and you reach into your pocket and pull out a bunch of nanobots of your own, and you throw it at him, and it creates this microbot cloud that is now his microbots are fighting your microbots, and it's just a real mess of a situation.
But at least this way, Pax has some extra defense.
So
That is, how much more defense do I have based on that?
It's basically it's harrying fire and covering fire simultaneously.
yeah, so you get covering fire, which is a +2 to your attack, or I'm sorry, a +2 to your defense, and he
So
has a
my
-2.
defense, right? So 38 is my KAC now.
Perfect, great, I love it. Clara, it's your turn.
Paradox, because I did not do that because I figured we'd be starting with downtime. And we did
Oh yeah.
not. So that is a 2, a 9, and a 16. Finally, one good paradox roll. All right, I'm gonna look through the scope
Okay, it's a move
as
action.
a move action,
Yep.
and then I am going to shoot. And then I'm gonna do that, and then that, and then that. Oh, I need to reload. Let's explain reloading to me one more time.
You shouldn't need to reload.
Every time I do, it gives me the little pop-up that says my capacity is 0 out of 4.
Just move your battery to the thing for the time being.
Yeah. You should be. Oh, wait, hold on.
It's crazy the idea that Clara wouldn't have their gun loaded at all times.
Oh,
though.
you're clicking the wrong gun.
What do you mean? The Share and I... Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah, that's right, because the new thing is, I need to get rid of that gun. I think I meant to sell that gun.
Yeah.
I meant to sell that gun. Anyway, let's try
That's
that
okay.
again.
Okay, so yes, that hits.
Wow, through both of us? God damn, good shot.
So Clara, that should be adding +9 to that because of your. You should be like.
Yeah, it's programmed as just 2d8. It doesn't say 2d8 plus anything.
Right. So that plus is supposed to be from your. I understand. We're gonna put it to there. Got it.
And then we'll just mentally add 9. So
Yeah,
that's
it should-
going to be
it should
a
add it.
23.
It should add it now. Okay, yeah. So Horatio throws this fist size of microbots at the nanite cloud, and now the two nanite clouds are fighting. Pax kind of crouches just a little bit as he's holding his hands in front of his face, and you fire a shot between your two friends and nail the inevitable right in the chest, and like a burst of white glowing nanites come out of it. And you do, what was it, 23?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I think my nanites would also assist Beck, assist Clara as
Yes.
well, because then it
Yeah.
works as herring fire.
Yeah, I took that into account. And that's it. Zib, it's your turn. So he answered you and said that he called you out as being members of the cult of the Devourer.
Yeah. Do you know how many of those fuckers we've killed? Do we look like we're part of the cult?
That's a very good thing to say. You can have a move action.
No, I'm alright. I stopped on my feet.
I'm just gonna make sure that Pax doesn't have the cult of the Devourer. Well, it wasn't a cult of the Devourer for it was a corpse fleet sword. Okay, so we're good.
Yeah, a very good thing to say. So Pax, it's your turn.
I mean, total defense. We're still trying to talk him down, and this guy hasn't tried to like hurt anyone else but me, so I don't care. We're good.
The inevitable is going to point at Zib and say, "You hide your true face. I've seen everything that I need to see." And then he is going to do something super fucking annoying.
Oh, sick. I hope it's become a swarm.
Well, then in that case, we're just blowing the ship up. Like, get to the escape pods, blow the ship up.
Sorry, Shepard. We're blowing you up again.
Pack your stuff and move away.
The ship explodes. Another small USB shoot.
He's going to transform into a swarm of microbots.
I fucking hate. Come on.
I fucking knew it.
And he is going to retreat back inside of the Spacewave Maiden.
Do I get an attack of opportunity against the swarm?
No.
Was Pax gonna try to inhale really good?
Yeah, I'm just gonna breathe them in.
I will double check with swarm defenses.
I thought you could. I can't remember though.
I'm gonna spend a resolve point to pull a life straw out of my backpack and just drink them up.
I got a couple of those. They're good.
I drink your nanomachine swarm. Drink it up.
Yeah, so he retreats to inside of the Spacewave Maiden. Horatio, it's your turn.
This is probably what Shepard had identified.
No, really?
I'm going to.
Damn, Raj, that's a good conclusion.
Yeah, Are you guys being sarcastic? I'm sorry. I don't pick up on I don't pick up on like interpersonal interactions.
In full honesty, I would have never thought of that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can't tell Claire. Anyway, I'm gonna stop concentrating and summon my nanobots back into my little like, I don't know, Tic Tac container I keep them in.
Your little AirPods case.
Capsules.
Yeah.
Fucking Bulma.
It's actually a Bugs Bunny Pez dispenser that my mom sent.
You're really into Pez.
I got Bugs Bunny and Wonder Woman.
So what do you want to do on your turn?
So I have to stop concentrating. So that's the one thing, right? That's like a swift action.
No, you just drop it. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, if it's back into the system, can I run over to a computer and do a computer check to see what the hell's going on?
Sure.
Quick,
Okay.
change the passwords.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
You guys will make a pose computer check. How about that?
Oh shit! I've never done this before.
Yeah, you just roll. You roll computers. He rolls the computers.
Holy shit! Why haven't you done that before?
So he is able to out juke you by just like the littlest bit.
Oh,
I was rerouting the encryption and everything.
You were rerouting the encryption, and then he bypassed the hyperdrive module. And
damn
real son of a bitch, huh?
it was a quantum encryption.
God, I hate it.
They never told us about this in the Arcanumarium.
And he's able to evade your attack, but he is going to take some sort of penalty when he exits again or tries to do anything else, because it was very, very close, and it was a very good idea. Clara, it is your turn.
Man.
It's in the walls, basically, right?
Yes, but not in the incorporeal way.
Okay, so like looking through my scope would not really accomplish anything?
Correct.
Okay. There's not really anything I can do to try to figure out where he is either. And honestly, I don't want to shoot at the walls of the ship. That is a bad idea.
That'd probably be bad.
I'm not sure what else there is that I can do.
I would say that you could attempt to talk to him more.
No.
You could.
Right.
Wow. Okay. You could follow.
In violence.
Yeah. You could go in Horatio's footsteps and go to a console and try to track him down in there again. You do have a computer skill, recently, or a relatively decent one, or some other thing. Those are the two things I see. You could ready an attack for when he comes back.
Attack sounds good, honestly.
Okay. Do you want to move or stay there?
I'm gonna creep up just a little bit in case he kind of shows up somewhere else in here, like right in the doorway. I have a little bit more of a range. So like right here is probably good.
Zib, it's your turn.
Okay, let me hit you with this as a sort of media savvy individual. Instead of talking, what if I kind of Chromecast the videos of us killing
Oh man, that's so
cult members onto the consoles?
Yeah, sure. So you want to use all the terminals that he can clearly see because he's inside the ship to show you guys fighting against them.
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, even just the footage from when we were inside that temple with the feet. This is Raj talking.
Right. Not that one. I lost that tape. It's weird.
Oh, come on.
Okay, yes, that is fantastic. So all of the terminals on the bridge, all the consoles, all the LCD screens, they start playing videos, different ones of you guys fighting and defeating Cult of the Devourer members.
And I'm doing like the Tom Cruise Minority Report, throwing videos.
Love it. I can't wait for that to be real. I mean, just the gloves, not everything else.
You know, not the big headset or the police state.
Yeah, that's the one. That's really that. Yeah, that's the big part of that. Pax, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna move next to Zip. Oh, sorry, you had things. My bad.
I was just gonna say, a bad guy turn into swarm, go into wall. What do?
No idea where bad guy is. Better protect Cap. Move to Cap.
Very good.
Total defense.
And it's the Inevitable's turn. You can hear from the speakers his response, and his response is, "Their viciousness knows no bounds, and of course you would kill your own." And then he is going to attempt to.
You got through him. He made a differentiation between us and them. So you're starting to get to him.
So Horatio, please make a computer check in opposition to the Inevitable making a computer check.
Okay.
Excellent. This time, you're able to contain him in an area that is right underneath the front console of the bridge. You also know that in the last round, he was able to access all of your personal files. I'm sorry, not personal files, personnel files. A bunch of
security number.
Yeah, a bunch of information about you guys, what your ship is, and what you guys do.
Well, that should help us then, right?
I mean, yeah.
Nope, he's seen our internet history.
He's seen Jimothy's internet history. Jimothy, what have you been looking at when we're... Yeah.
Jimothy doesn't know, because, one, he's a kid, and two, he's a bone boy, so he doesn't know what to Google.
Timothy's like, the bone zone is the Oxyan social media. It's not what you think it is.
Stop saying that.
V-Bucks, cheap V-Bucks. Where find cheap V-Bucks?
Sex in Fortnite. Minecraft sex when?
Rule 34 is an important part of the free internet on EOX.
So the Inevitable comes back out of the console. Right, still kind of mixed with the nanobots that Raj had. I think actually those are going to be done they're going to be done immediately.
Yeah.
So as those are dispersing, he comes back out in his swarm form. Raj, it is your turn.
To shoot him. Nope. Ready to attack. Shoot.
Okay,
Go.
he is immune to it because he's in his swarm form.
He's
I
so
hate-
fuck.
I thought my
Yeah.
turn was doing computer stuff. Yeah. So.
No, that was a
Hey.
reaction on your turn because you were actively on the computer. So I let
okay.
you guys have opposed rolls. It's now your turn, and you can do whatever you like. Unfortunately, Clara, you shoot, and he's immune to it because he's in his swarm form.
I'm going to wait. So he's outside of the thing, so I can't computer anymore.
Correct. Unless you have some other computer idea, like put a lock on it, but do something else. Something else
Quick,
that would help.
update the OS.
Turn the VPN on. I don't know.
You know, the solution today is brought to you by our sponsor, NordVPN. No, I'm just-
I actually want to do that. Like, I want to basically set up like a VPN type thing to keep it from accessing more of their files.
Change our password so that we don't all have the same password, which is Captain Zib is the best, and
Yeah.
E and best is with a 3, and then there's an
Yeah.
exclamation point.
Yeah,
Next
can I do
season,
that?
best
Can
will be over.
I
Are you saying this
basically
on-
throw up a VPN or firewalls or something computer hackery?
Sure. Just give me a computer check.
Okay.
If this doesn't work, I'll just air gap the system by literally cutting the computer out of the wall.
Ooh, that is not going to be enough. That is a really poor roll. Yeah. So basically, he's gonna, if he interfaces with the computer again, he's gonna have to beat a 26. He is definitely gonna be
I'm
able
sure
to do
that's
that.
easy. Yeah.
He is. You can tell that he's been in the whole thing, and you try to block off parts of it, but he's left kind of part of himself in there to undo what you're doing as you're doing it. Do you want to take a move action?
I'm now like, guys, it's infiltrated, it's compromised almost the entire operating system of our craft. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm gonna go right here.
Okay. Clara, it's your turn. Clara's frozen. Clara, what happened? Can't hear you.
I'm here. I don't know what to
Oh,
tell
there
you.
you go.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Hear you now.
Yeah.
Yay! Sorry
Yay.
about that. I'm not sure what happened. I was just groaning in frustration, so it's fine. Because I don't know what to do. We had this issue with the swarm thing last time, where it's just I shoot and I spell, and neither of those really can do anything here. Can I ready an action in case he turns corporeal?
You sure can. What action would you like to do?
Shoot!
Excellent. You can ready a shoot. I'm going to tell you that your gun has a special property called Boost. Boost means that you can take a move action to add a d8 to your damage roll next round.
Okay.
So if you boost and then prepare an action and then shoot and hit him, it will do an extra d8 damage.
So is boosting one a move action or like
Correct.
swift?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, let's boost. And then I'll ready an action for it whenever he turns corporeal.
Okay. Part of building that custom weapon was trying to figure out, can you put boosting on a weapon that doesn't do energy damage? And there's nothing that says you can't. So I decided that, like, canonically what happens is, without firing, Clara reloads the rifle and it just puts 2 bullets in there. And then it shoots 2 bullets, and then that bullet hits the bullet in front of it, and it goes very fast. Or something.
That's how bullets work. Like,
That's how
one
bullets
bullet
work,
hits-
yeah.
That's
it
how
doesn't-
bullets work.
Yeah.
John Wick taught me that.
It does not explode or do anything bad at all. Zib, it's your turn. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm kind of running out of shit to say 'cause I'm pissed now. So wait, he was just looking at our files? He was just looking for my social security number? What was he doing?
Yeah, he was basically, like, anything recorded by the ship that he had access to. He like knows about your ship now. He knows about you guys. He knows, like, you know, Pax, Vesk Soldier, Clara, Android Mercenary, stuff like that.
Ah,
I mean, you
Right.
could use that to your advantage. I don't know.
yeah, I'm like,
We work for the Starfinder
yeah,
Society,
we're
right?
members of the Starfinder Society, And there's no way that we just went through all of that bullshit on Istamok to be called cult members
Again.
Again.
Does happen a lot.
It happens so much.
Pax, it is your turn.
He's still not corporeal.
Not yet.
All right, total defense. I'm protecting Zib. I'm good.
Okay. The inevitable is going to turn corporeal. Clara,
Shoot.
please do a shoot.
Do shoot.
Oh.
That does not hit.
God damn it.
Fuck off.
Was even with am I still looking through my scope?
No, but he's also not getting a cover bonus.
Okay.
Straight up
well,
didn't hit.
Boo.
Yeah, you rolled a 9. Bummer. You were close though. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
He is going to move towards Zib, and he is going to point to Zib, and he is going to say, Starfinders would make the best cultists.
The best of you. You remember that? An old chestnut?
You could gain the trust of everyone around you and then betray them. Prove to me you are not that. Horatio, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast instant upgrade on myself and give myself a Starship Neural Link.
Okay, what does that do?
Basically, my brain is now plugged into the computers, the Starship's like OS.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I can spend a resolve point to give myself a +2 bonus when I do computers checks.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah. So it's like a thick cable just juts out of my head and is now jammed into like the closest, I guess, port that I'm standing next to.
Exactly. Perfect. All right, I love that. Yeah, there's one right there.
It provides me the means to experience the ship's sensory data firsthand and lend my own brain power to the computer.
Yeah, so do you, so you won't be able to jack in until next turn, right?
No, it's just, the port is just there.
Okay, yeah, so we'll see if we even get that far. But I had not considered that. That's interesting. Clara, it is your turn.
Still shooting.
That'll hit. Okay. Come on. Another burst of nanites comes off of a part of his shoulder, but he is like staring at Zib, just kind of stoically waiting for Zib to make their final kind of argument or period piece or whatever. And Zib, you've done a really great job so far. And you don't have to actually say anything because the last 4 rounds were great, and like you said everything that you needed to say. So you are able to just make. Yeah, I know. I can tell. Like, hey, can you just carry this scene for me real quick? You can make your diplomacy check right now if you want, and don't forget about all of your slick customer and Rube Goldberg machine, whatever.
Yeah, boy, is it hard to keep fucking track? Okay. So it's just a diplomacy check, then slick customer lets me defer my expertise die until after I see the result.
Okay. So the base that you needed is a 44.
Sorry, you cut out for a sec. What was that?
The base that you needed is a 44.
Okay. And then
You can either re-roll the highest you could possibly roll or add your expertise die.
At 9, okay, so I get 1d6 plus 2 is my expertise now.
Okay. And then plus an additional 2 from Horatio, which would give you A 43.
Nice. Pog.
So, right? Yeah, so a 43. So, however, because you did a really, really good job of saying very specific things, the DC got lowered by like a bunch. And you also rolled a critical on your first like big action of this season. So obviously you're going to pass.
Wow.
By talking
Good
him
job,
down
Cap.
and by having Pax basically stand in front of you, protecting you instead of being this like wanton destruction cultist, he has kind of realized that maybe you guys aren't who he thought he was, and you have officially passed the check. Pax, it is your turn. Do you want to do anything?
I'm going to attack. No, I'm just kidding.
Good job, Captain. His guard is down.
Pax, no!
And then I think with that, the inevitable kind of like takes his sword and puts it in front of him, and no longer wishes to be in combat with you guys. You have successfully talked down the inevitable and proven over the past 5 rounds that you are not the Devourer cultist that he assumed you were, and is at least willing to have a further conversation without trying to punch you in the face. Very good, very great job. I think you guys did all of the things that you guys did in that were really good. I was very pleased with all the decisions that you made, especially the broadcasting the latent videos to all the terminals.
Right.
Like that was a huge part of it. He couldn't get away from it. He was inside the computer, and you sent the computer all of the stuff, so he couldn't not see it. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take a quick 10-minute break. I'm going to hit a button, and we are going to go into break mode. I have to pee, and then the mics will be off, the voice chat will be off, and then we'll come back and we'll continue and figure out like what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? This fucking guy.
What is this?
What the fuck is this?
Guy?
Yay.
All right,
Can
I'm
anyone
gonna-
just get onto our ship whenever? It seems like anyone could just get onto our ship whenever.
We're constantly getting boarded and broken into and hitchhiked upon and
Yeah, who's our security officer? Because
Okay, we're going to break.
Tired of the same old breakfast? We got you. Because here, we believe breakfast should be fun. Spacey's all-day breakfast menu. Food so good, it's out of this world.
Hey, we're back. So with an amazing display of diplomacy and then a fantastic natural 20 roll on their diplomacy check, Starfinder Captain Zib Beveridge is able to talk down the inevitable that has kind of assaulted and boarded the Spacewave Maiden, which is now, oddly enough, identifying as the Sunrise Maiden, as it was originally built to be. So the 5 of you are on the bridge. Jimothy is still kind of hiding in the in the background. The inevitable has agreed to at least stop fighting you while he talks to you guys, or you talk to him to explain your situation and maybe find out more about him as well. Excuse me. I'm actually going to put.
Can we just parlay with this thing verbally, or I've got a coaxial cable hanging out of the back of my skull right now, guys.
Yeah. No, there's no need for that.
Okay, I dispel the temporary cybernetic implant that was sticking out of my head.
So
but I just let you guys know that I can do this. So.
For a very good question though is how do you talk to him, because it's just this nanomachine man that came out of space and infected your spaceship and then came onto the bridge, and it hadn't occurred to you until now that he is speaking in a language that you don't recognize, but is still a language that you understand, which is very odd. So
Hey,
he's
Jimothy, it's safe to come out here.
okay. And Jimothy's like, no, it's not. No, nope, he's still here. Nope, I don't like this at all. This is nope. I don't. Nope. No thanks.
Okay, just you can stay in there, but just you can't log into your Space Fortnite account for like at least another hour or so. Just so you know. So.
All right. Well, okay. And then he goes and he immediately tries to log into a Space Fortnite account, and it's not able to because it's locked up right now. So the inevitable in front of you asks you guys, if you are Starfinders, what are you doing so far away from the Pack Worlds, and where are you headed?
We're really far away from the Pack Worlds because we're on whatever the planet system is that Istamok is on, trying to track down what the cultists are looking for and beat them to it, and we're days behind and falling even further behind now. Nobody's fault.
So you haven't lost any time, but but fair enough. Yeah. So he says, what are the cultists looking for?
The stellar degenerator at the 13th gate as a way to get it.
I don't know what either of those things are, but if the cult of the Devourer is trying to get it, then they probably should not have it. What is the gate, the stellar degenerator? What are these things? Please tell me.
Super weapon destroys stars, locked away by an older civilization.
Okay, you maybe should have led with that. He tries to laugh, but like he doesn't really have a humor. You can tell that like as he's talking, he's very stoic and almost robotic and mechanical. I mean, he is made entirely of little nanomachines. And he says, so you're following the cult of the Devourer to some place, and that place that they are going is supposed to be holding the stellar degenerator, which has a capability to destroy the suns.
Yep, you're all caught up. Took us like 5 books, but it seems so simple now.
Tell me, what do you know about where the stellar degenerator is hidden?
Do I want to do that to
I
the
was gonna-
person
yeah.
who just boarded our ship?
He says, oh, right. So, he explains what he is. He says that his name is Quilius, and Quilius is something called an inevitable.
Nerd ass name.
He explains that it is his duty. He is a protector of travelers and explorers in space. This inevitable, named Quilius, was forged in the Lawful city of Axis. Axis being one of the main cities on the realm of, on the plane of law. He is a construct of nanomachines that was sent to fly around the galaxy and help travelers get to where they're going and make sure that they are protected. He is very familiar with the concept of the Starfinder Society. And he tells you that very recently, within the last day or so, he had come upon a very strange looking system. And while he was examining it, a fleet of ships arrived. And when he tried to hail them, they invited him on board, and when he got there, they attacked him. They were vicious combatants. They reveled in the violence that they were delivering. They adorned their armor and starship with horns and spikes and blood and skulls, and seemed to not care, even for themselves, as they attacked him and tried to destroy him. And now that he's had a moment to collect himself, he starts to recount what had happened, and he tried to get away. He turned into a swarm and tried to escape through the cracks of the spaceship, much like he entered yours. And when he did that, he was ripped from that spaceship and placed into the drift. He's very familiar with Triune and what Triune does, and he recognizes this now as being the unfortunate after effect of someone else somewhere activating a drift engine and taking a random piece of a random plane and throwing it in there.
You reminding us that earlier just seemed superfluous. We all knew that, but now I see it was foreshadowing. That's storytelling.
And unfortunately, what happened was because he was not in his full form, only some of him was grabbed and thrown into the drift as a nanite swarm in this cloud, where he just kind of floated for a day or so before literally bumping into you. But now that he has had a chance to reconfigure and heal his fractured mind for a second, because you took the time to talk him down, he was able to see reason, and now has kind of regained a little bit of sensibility, enough to at least have this conversation and then possibly others once he gets out of here. So he explains that all to you as kind of like the offering of, like, you know, oh, this is who I am. I'm looking for more information about you. Like, clearly you guys are travelers. I should be helping you, or at least trying to help you. So he asks again where you're trying to get to.
I don't remember because I'm stupid, so I bring it up on the computer.
Right. So amazing. So you bring it up on the computer, and
check out our OneNote.
It is
my Notion that I keep.
It's just a PowerPoint slide, and it's a picture of a circle of stars, and that circle of stars is the system of 12 suns, the gate of 12 suns. 12 suns in a circle is the thing that leads to the stellar degenerator. And when he sees that, he says, that's exactly where I was. He says,
Oh, great.
had come there very recently, cosmically, and had studied that system for a while. And when the cultists came to me, they took me in and then attacked me. Like I said, I was trying to tell them to steer away from the 12 suns, from the system, because of a large anomaly in the way that the system is sustained. So I tried to. Good.
I have to ask. You say that you experience them cosmically in time. When I hear that phrase, I assume you mean millions of years. Has the cult been there for that long?
No, that's excellent question. Not what I meant. What he means is that he had kind of been there for like a couple months, maybe a year.
Oh,
and then the cult, this happened like 2 days ago.
So not the cosmic spans of time.
No. Yeah. No. He had been there studying it for a couple months and like interacting with anybody that came by and was like pushing them, away like this. There's something wrong about this place and he can't, So what he starts to explain to you is that there are 12 suns perfectly in orbit of each other. And there are massive gravitational fluctuations to hold this thing together. and that once you get close enough to it, it makes it impossible to. It makes it very difficult to navigate because of all the gravity distortion, and it also makes it impossible to activate a drift drive. And it's not exactly sure why that second part is, but he does know that it's true. So he's been kind of studying the system for a while and been steering people away from it. And then the cult showed up. They attacked him. Then he got transported here, and now and then he fought you. And it was a whole thing. And now he's better.
It's not good that the cult's already there, though.
Yeah, they're definitely already there. So as an inevitable, I'm tasked with aiding travelers. However, I can't get directly involved. I can push you in the right direction, but there are certain laws that are physically holding me from giving you any real assistance. But if you'll accept it, I can help you as a apology of sorts.
That would be good, but what if instead of helping us, you helped yourself get back to where you were as quickly as possible? We just happened to be on the same ship that you did that with. Could you cut the time we had to get there down in a way?
You're asking him to speed up the drift travel?
Or find us a shortcut, or like help us get to exactly where we need to go. Because if he's been fighting the cult and he needs to get back to defend the 13th gate against the cult, like,
so he hasn't really been fighting them. Like, that happened one time very recently, and every other time was just people that he was like, hey, don't, this weird thing is over here. He can't speed up the drift travel. Like, you guys are on the course. You're close enough that, like, there's no deviating from it. There's no faster way to get there. He says, I can do two things. I can impart my knowledge of the system into your starship, and that will help you navigate all of the gravity fluctuations and spare you from any of the danger of flying through the gravitational wells that 12 suns and 12 planets would make. I can advise you on what the system looks like, and if you're willing, I could also impart, and he kind of like picks his hand up, and it looks like he's holding some kind of like flame, but it's made of nanobots, and he says, I could impart a blessing onto one of your weapons. Melee weapons only.
Great.
Yeah, and everybody goes, man, fuck shit.
I mean, it's Clara, you wouldn't want someone to overcharge your weapon anyways.
Wow. Rude.
Yeah. I mean, there's empirical, we have anecdotal evidence that you just are not a fan of people overcharging your weapons.
You are an incredible shot, but you lack what we in the Vescarium like to call clutch.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's so rude.
That's so rude.
Yeah, so the inevitable tells you that while he's not programmed to actually go and fight against them, he is more of a steward of... No, steward's the wrong word because we have that already. He is a protector of travelers and has been getting people away from this anomaly, so he wants to give you some of the calculations for navigating the gravity wells, as well as an overview of the system and a nanite weapon fusion for anybody with a melee weapon. This is either a yes or a no. He's just going to give it to you. But he is not allowed, he is not programmed to do anything but help like in this way.
I mean, I'll definitely, as the only melee weapon user, I'll take the nanite fusion, assuming that I can add it to the respectful decline, which I'm trying to figure out right now.
I think you can. You should be able to.
I'm trying to figure out how many fusion slots it has.
Well, it's a 9th level weapon, and then +1.
So it has 10 fusion slots. Then I think it's okay.
I'm sorry, it's an 8th level weapon, and then +1.
It has 9 slots. I think it should be fine.
Okay. So yeah, you can just drag that right in there. And what this does is, on a critical hit, it surges and it will infect the enemy with a nanobot swarm that does a combination of acid and bludgeoning damage that eats them away from the inside. Important note: you already have a critical effect, and you will have to choose between them or spend resolve points to make them both happen.
Okay. So I can either choose Arc or the nanobots.
Correct.
Sweet. What is the name of the fusion specifically?
I thought it was a nanite fusion.
All right. When you get a chance, just go ahead and link it because I do not see it.
It would be in, let's see, equipment.
See, nanites, nanite canister, some decouplers, but nothing that's fusion.
I found it.
Sweet.
Okay, so we're going to take this and apply it directly to the respectful decline. And we're going to attempt to apply it directly to... Oh my god.
I won't touch my sheet.
Yeah, I know. It won't let me actually put it on there.
We will figure it out later. And
yeah,
I will
the
look it
problem
up
is
when it
that I
comes
have to drag it. Yeah, so I just have 2 copies of it. All right, so we'll look at that later. Maybe it has to do with the way that I build it and have to give it another slot or something. Because the Respectful Decline uses the Starfinder enhanced upgradable weapons rules and has a bunch of extra things built into it. One of the things being that it has an extra slot for adding weapon fusions, which are enhancements, but they come as little stickers. So he gives you this nanite fusion, and he says, I would also like to, and he looks back at the bridge, and he's like, reprogram your piloting systems to help you navigate these gravitational fields. And what he's telling you is that he will input all of the calculations that he has made and will give you a huge bonus to navigating the gravitational wells that you will actually have to navigate once you get to the Gate of 12 Suns.
Great.
All right, so he does that very easily. He kind of shoots some nanites out of his hand, and they crawl around underneath the terminal and then come back out. Yeah, it's not gross. Don't worry about it. Don't give me that face.
Like he could just, use the keyboard. Nah.
Nanites are small bugs, and I like that.
Yeah,
And
that
they're
seems...
dry.
Seems like something you would really be into.
Small computer bug.
It's just a small bug. Come on, go ahead. Go. Get out.
Baby.
I opened the door to let...
in Sheeran culture, when they fix computers, they wouldn't call it, squashing bugs. That would clearly be insulting. So they have to have a different term.
Well, it's not debugging, it's rebugging.
Rebugging. They're introducing bugs into the software because they make it work better.
Because it's not a bug, it's a feature.
Right.
Yes.
Perfect. And scene. Thank you.
The code is just correct the first time. I don't know. Well, it seems really hard for other creatures, but skill issue.
Quality assurance testers in the Sheeran Empire are just walking around and making sure Sheeran are working on the product, and then they leave.
Okay. So
I'm a job creator.
please don't tax me. I'm a job creator. So Quilius has has rewritten some of the piloting algorithms specifically for navigating these gravity wells. And one of the things that he said was that it's a unique system of gravity wells because it's 12 suns that are orbiting a central point, and then each of those 12 suns have one planet that orbits it. So all of those things added together create a very spicy piloting check to get around.
Yeah, the classic 12 body problem.
Yeah.
That old chestnut.
So his mission here is kind of ended. He tells you guys that he's going to have to attempt to reconstitute himself in some other way, and that if you have any questions for him or about a little about what he knows about the Gate of 12 Suns, now is the time to ask.
Well, do you happen to know how many cultists were already there? Like, what are we walking into, I guess?
Unfortunately, I don't have a real answer on that. I was attacked by a crew led by a very disgusting human man. He had a very gaunt face and he's a nasty guy. Just a real gross human person, as well as several fighter ships that accompanied his ship, and then a fleet of Devourer cultists that were going to explore the Gate of the 12 Suns.
But if they were exploring the gate, then they do not know where the stellar degenerator is yet.
That sounds right. Sounds right. So yeah, you can assume that they haven't found it yet, but that something is they're working on it. So
Is
he
it-
kind of, I would say, gathers his things, but he doesn't really have things to gather. He just gets all of his nanobots back on his body. Yeah, he kind of and just reconstitutes himself. And he wishes you good luck as he leaves, and then the nanobots kind of form this ring around him, and they start to swirl and expand, and he turns into the nanobots as they turn into the ring, as they turn into a portal, and sort of flow and form and fold into themselves, and he disappears.
Neat.
Yes. Give me a clip it.
I'll give you a clip it. Oh fuck, did I just close Firefox instead of clipping it? Nice.
Nice. Holy shit.
That did not save my tabs.
Oof.
Come back to me.
Right. And we're back on the bridge of the Spacewave Maiden. Yeah, so give me, you back?
Nope.
Nope.
Can I, even though we didn't kill this guy, can I put him in my
Yeah, that
my
counts.
journal?
Yeah, that counts. Yeah.
Sweet.
So just put 1 of 5 into Pax's journal. Actually, I will just do that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forget where I put it. I found it.
Yeah, I can't find it all of a sudden.
Boy, I'm really gonna miss those tabs. I can't get into the game now. Thanks, Foundry. Oh, there it goes.
So we'll hold that thought for a minute,
Hey, guys.
and we will exit the drift.
I'm right there. I can do this. Button. Neat.
Time to drop out of warp.
And then give me a computer score. You got to hit a 19.
Yeah.
Wait, we're
Did
still
I-
the Sunrise Maiden. Oof.
Yeah.
Did I put? Okay.
Okay. You six. So give me a diplomacy check. Okay. So your follower count goes up by that many million.
1D.
So 25 million are follow you over this interaction with a inevitable from the plane of law.
Get a load of this guy.
You put one more to level 10, and we add, what did I say? Add 25? So currently your follower count is I'm sorry, it's in billions. So it's 472 billion followers. So you gain 25 million followers from that. It's incredible.
Nice.
You're blowing up, which is kind of like still kind of mid. Because there's just like there's trillions and trillions of people. But yeah, Ryan brings up a good point. He exits the inevitable exits the ship, and the Spacewave Maiden does not revert back to the Spacewave Maiden. It stays as the Sunrise Maiden, and all of the consoles are reading basic information about the environment directly around you and the ship itself. So while you're in what you think is the Spacewave Maiden, it has kind of reverted back to the Sunrise Maiden.
Is Shepard okay?
There is no Shepard on the terminals.
Oh well.
What? No.
Oh well.
Sorry, you always gave me the creeps.
Shepard's my favorite character on the show.
Wait, it's not Jimothy?
I mean, it's okay because it has been proven that Shepard does not have a consciousness. He is just a collection of data. So as long as we can recover that, they will come back.
Do we still have its little USB thingy? Or did we toss that?
So Jimothy, like...
Shepard from a backup.
So Jimothy, like, pops out and he goes, that's not exactly true. So, okay. So yeah, like, you said that, you know, he's not a real sentience. He's just a collection of okay, I don't know how you put it, but however you put it is basically wrong.
I mean, it's clear he does not have a consciousness. He was collected onto a data disk, which was then loaded into a different computer. And while he did wake up with the memories of the old person and thinks that he has a continuous consciousness, that old body had died. That data was dead. He must be an entirely new being, so we could restore him from backup, and he would never know.
3 different good points today, and it's weirding me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow, you've been reading a lot, huh?
I was not very into the pirate board game, so I decided to read some articles on Space Wikipedia.
Okay, right. So here's the thing. Pax, if we took your brain and then took it out of you and then put it in a robot, that would still be you, right? Because it is your collection of consciousness.
It would be my brain meat, yes.
Right. So robots don't have that. They only
Correct.
have...
That is why they do not have a soul.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. We're learning a lot about Pax today. So, Pax, write this down. Sometimes
Pax somehow pulls out a quill.
Yeah, pulls out a quill and opens the unofficial official Mind Wars Alien Archive. And Jimothy says, "Okay, Pax, this is really important. Sometimes, oftentimes, a sufficiently advanced technological entity, like a robot or a spaceship,
or ships,
will spontaneously gain sentience and a legitimate soul."
Spontaneous generation is something attributed to robots. Underlined. Excellent.
That is called an SRO.
SRO.
Sentient robotic
sentient
object. Hold on. Actually, I don't remember what it is. He starts studying or stuttering. It stands for. Wait, I don't think it actually says it. So it's a sentient. It's a sentient robotic organism. It has to be
sentient robotic organism.
So sometimes there is a construct that gains sentience, and that's what happened to Shepard. Did you guys not get that?
But Shepard. That does not make sense because Shepard has been 3 separate things, unlike Clara, who clearly has sentience, as Clara has been one thing their entire lives. Shepard has been 3 different things.
So, back to the analogy about the brain. So what if Shepard's brain meats were transferred from one object to another object to another object? So here's what happened. I'm just going to spell it out for you, Pax. Shepard the robot found some enlightening thing and gained sentience. We took Shepard's brain and then we plugged it into the spaceship again. And then he lived there. That's where his brain is. So his brain is the whole thing.
Theoretically, however, if we could get Shepard's old body back and then put what was left of his brain from the ship into his brain, would that be fully Shepard while the ship was also still Shepard?
Jimothy is scratching his head like bone on bone, just like I'm going. Look,
I vent the ship and kill us all.
I'm not entirely sure. I should know this though. Listen, okay, here's Pax. I'm just gonna tell you the way that it is, and then you make it work in the way that you need to make it work.
Excellent.
Whatever happened to Shepard the first time that he plugged in to the Spacewave Maiden affected his robot circuitry in a way that it attracted a soul. And when it attracted a soul, that soul and all of his memories were contained in one spot in his data drive. We took that data drive and we plugged it into the Spacewave Maiden. Now, apparently, Shepard is not here, so I don't know what that means.
Well, okay, Shepard is a divine being whose intelligence attracts a soul. That divine soul exists in whatever Shepard is in at the time, which means we could go rescue Shepard's soul if he is missing. Excellent.
Yeah, actually, yeah, okay, yeah, that tracks. I guess I'm gonna have to do some research because that's not good. That sounds bad. That sounds really bad.
Above the table, is this your way of telling us you've disabled the tutorial?
Yeah, I took the training wheels off. Cover matters. Track your bullets.
Excellent.
Yeah, and make sure you eat food every day.
Oh no!
If you don't say it didn't happen.
How much?
Oh, fuck, Clara doesn't need to do that.
I don't need to do that.
Clara has a fucking magic stone that lets her not eat or drink, and she's an android, so she doesn't breathe.
I'm just vibing.
My plan is foiled.
I feel like Raj would just drink that stuff that used to be on podcast ads all the time. That's just like Pedialyte and the fuck, like Slim Fast shakes, but it's marketed towards it's marketed towards like startup bros and coders. So
at the end of that conversation, Jimothy says, so now that we're kind of like about to get to where we're going, I have something that I need to tell you. It's not related to the Shepard thing. I don't know what's up with that. That's weird. And kind of concerning. I have good news and I have bad news. Which do you want first?
give us the bad news.
Okay.
Always the bad news first.
The scavenger slime is on the ship.
That is incredibly bad news. How exactly did that happen?
I don't know. I guess it like
It didn't
crawled in.
chew?
No, it didn't shoot. It like seeped in through like the landing gear or something. I found the Okay, but hold on. You didn't ask what the good news was.
I can't think of what good news could follow that.
Okay, Okay, this is gonna sound nuts. We're friends now.
What?
Yeah. Do you guys want to? He's in the cargo bay.
It almost killed me.
It has a gender. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's the crazy part because it's a slime, right? Yeah. No, he is in the cargo bay. Do you guys want to meet him?
Is he gonna kill me again?
No, I promise. No, this is just as weird as trust me. I don't know what's happening either.
Is he still made up of scavengered weapons?
No, but that's part of it. Come on. So he runs down the hallway towards where the cargo bay is.
keep getting
Oh
on
my-
our ship.
Wait,
Is it-
above the table, mechanically, is he our guy that we can give weapons to, and then he turns them into other things?
Ding, 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 ding. He runs into the cargo bay, and
We got a chubby chocobo.
you see, I'm going to drag you guys all down to the cargo bay. In the cargo bay, there is a little kiosk set up, and behind the little kiosk is a giant ooze, and so it's 100% the kiosk from Charlie Brown, and it says merchantry 5 cents. The salesman is in, and in front of you, in this little setup of this little shop, is Schmooze the Ooze and the mobile merch table. Schmooze the Ooze is going to be your go-to guy for ordering things from the internet to get sent to you through drift travel. I needed to find a way to get you guys to spend any credits that you were going to spend.
Yeah,
And I
because
needed-
we are sitting on a lot of them. So.
well, not
We never go to the space mall. We don't
Not
have
all of
time.
you.
We're a little busy.
So apparently what had happened was Smooze the Ooze crept onto the ship and at one point or another gained a single point of intelligence. And that single point of intelligence allowed Schmooze the Ooze to talk to Jimothy, and they worked out a business relation in which
I like that. All
Mhm.
it takes is one intelligence.
Just
to get
one
on
intelligence
everybody's
point.
level.
No, did he go from 0 to 1? Did he go from 3 to 4? Who knows? It doesn't. I don't know, and it doesn't matter. I don't want it to make sense. It just has to work.
One intelligence point, and it figures out capitalism.
Can't
So
get past it, though.
Schmooze the Ooze is going to be your mobile merch table, and what that means is he's going to be like the shop that follows you when you're at the end of the JRPG and there's an airship and the airship also has a shop on it that doesn't make any sense. That's what Schmooze the Ooze is.
Yay.
However, it is going to take a day or so to get the thing that you order because he has to
That
order
makes
it
sense.
and they have to send it through drift travel.
Yeah.
This is the explanation for why you can use the I've got just the thing use of the resolve points. And it is also the channels that Zib has made in his influencer time have opened up this idea that things can be ordered to him, and then Schmooze will give it to you guys. And that will be where all of your half-price consumables come from. So in order to purchase and use that influencer gold card and get those half-price consumables, you have to order them from Schmooze the Ooze. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And Schmooze the Ooze, who talks like this, "Hey guys, how's it going? I'm so happy to be here." And that is a voice I pulled directly from Hello from the Magic Tavern. He has a guy called a man called Ooze. He's an Ooze. And
Oh, I thought it was the snot-nosed friend from Home Movies.
Yeah.
And that's Schmooze the Ooze and the mobile merch table. So that will be another thing that we will be trying to keep up with in season 3. Okay, let's see. We did that. Okay. So before you guys drop out of drift travel, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about or do or discuss?
Shepard
Can
just
I-
dead?
Can I recharge my batteries?
Sure. Yeah, you guys can go back to full health, full everything. It's going to be in like a whole
Okay,
other
cool.
day before you drop out of drift travel.
Nice.
So like we can full rest
Thank you.
basically.
Yeah.
So do we rename the ship now?
The ship
I'm
has
just playing.
renamed itself. The ship has renamed itself to the Sunrise Maiden, and it no longer
Terrible
has the purple and blue motif that it had. It is-
I mean, we don't
Color
have to change the monograms on the bath towels, so like we're still good in that.
yeah, because it's
Yeah.
it's right. It's S and then M.
Do
Nice.
do we want to rename it though? Because we still don't. If it's the Supreme Maiden, we don't have to like change the towels.
Also true.
And we can get a bunch of like goofy like red bar logos that say.
I mean, that's the best part of naming anything the Supreme is that you get to do the red bar logo thing.
Anyway, I get Schmooze and Jimothy to just immediately start ordering a shit ton of LEDs so I can get the lighting back.
Okay, perfect.
I like the problem solving there. We know the lights can change to that color, but we're not going to bother with that. Just get new lights.
Getting new lights. It's also my answer to the security situation is we're just changing all of the lights.
So to explain like what happened with the inevitable in that security situation, basically the nanobites or the nanobots were so small that they were able to literally fit through the cracks in the spaceship. The seams of the plating and the ventilation systems and all of that were amply sized to have a nanobot invasion.
And it was the same for Jimothy. He was just so small. He just moved right in here.
The ship is sealed where the vacuum of space cannot suck all of our oxygen out.
Listen. The cloud of dust the PC starship passes through contains Quilius in their discorporated form. Their nanites are able to slip through microscopic cracks in the vessel's hull and interface with the ship's computer.
Fair.
When you write it like that, it sounds much more reasonable. Because you just say that yes, this is how it works, and this is how this is why it's working.
Mm-hmm.
So we got one more thing to get through. That it involves you guys dropping out of hyperspace. So as long as you don't have anything else you want to ask me about Schmooze the Ooze or Jimothy or even the blank canvas that is the Sunrise Maiden.
Above the table, do we purchase stuff from Schmooze before sessions or during, or like do I just say, hey, I want to buy this stuff?
Yeah, you just kind of let me know, and then we'll get it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
And really, it's really for, like I said, grenades, ammunition, batteries. You guys should all have 2 high capacity batteries on you now because you have leveled up to that point that I just gave you a couple batteries. Yeah.
A new emote for Twitch now that the ship is no longer the Spacewave.
Oh, I don't want to do that. No, that feels wrong. That's
shit,
like
we better rename the ship right away then.
So the ship kind of now is I don't want to say boring, but it's like different, and it's not the ship that it was. And while Shepard isn't like really active in your guys' day to day, like he is also usually very helpful in any kind of like science exploration things that you guys might want to do, or some researching things, and he is noticeably absent from the ship in the next day because he's just not there.
Okay, so again, seriously, above the table, we cannot just take the thumb drive that Zib likely still has with his backup on it, like with these memories, and plug it back in.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't do. Like, one, that thumb drive is still plugged in. Like, it wasn't really a thumb drive as much as it was like a module that was slotted and installed.
We sideloaded Shepard onto the ship. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure like Shepard being gone is the big thing that I gotta take care of. So when we have more considerable downtime, I can look into it.
Whole West about deciphering Shepard's stuff, and now it's just gone.
Well, we don't know if Shepard's gone. He's just not. I don't know. I'll look into it, guys. Like that's the most I can give you.
We do know that Shepard has an immortal soul, so on some level, they must still be out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Or and Jimothy points out, or they could theoretically still be in here, or I don't know. I'm gonna be so bored.
Name it the Zibwave Maiden.
How about the beverage barge?
Can you get us 50% off new monogrammed bath towels?
Those aren't consumable items.
Then no.
I use them.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. Fucking I just laid it up for you. So you spend the next day kind of trying to figure out like where what is happening? Like, where is Shepard? Why is he not here? Why is the ship reverted back to like its factory default? And as you're trying to figure that out, it is time to drop out of hyperspace at the closest drift beacon that you can get to the Gate of 12 Suns.
Maybe the cult will not recognize our ship now that it is completely different.
It's a great point, actually.
I mean, don't you think that they're just going to fire at any random ship, regardless of what that ship looks like?
Yes, but if we run, they may not pursue, assuming that we are less dangerous than we truly are.
That's Pax logic, yeah.
Yeah, but are we going to run, Pax?
Talk himself into a circle, sure.
Pax, look me in the eyes and tell me that you think we're going to run.
The Vesk never run.
Yeah, there you go.
Working yourself into a shoot, brother.
So dropping out of the drift, you guys arrive at the closest drift beacon to the Gate of 12 Suns that you could find. Hyperspace travel works in that there is a drift beacon somewhere else, and you form yourself a path through the drift that is different every single time in order to get to this other drift beacon, and then you exit the drift. And the reason that drift travel takes a weird amount of time is because the drift is always kind of like folding in on itself and creating new spaces and depleting them all the time. So you constantly have to retrack your path to figure out the next best way to get to where you're going. So you drop out of the drift at the Gate of the 12 Suns drift beacon. And at the Gate of the 12 Suns drift beacon is a little, well, it looks little, but it's actually big, is an additional like beacon that is beeping, and it has this green light on it that's beeping, and it is projecting above it the symbol of the Starfinder Society as a holographic display above the box.
Mail time.
Here's the mail, it never fails. Do you want to grab the box?
I would love to grab the box.
Okay. Easily, you scan the box, and it is an encrypted message from your best friend, Chiskisk,
Right.
representative of the Starfinder Society.
Oh, ouch.
Regular friends.
Friends of the crew, but not of the captain.
Right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
Well, no, it's because it's not like
It's like a work thing.
it's part of the lore, like because I don't want people to perceive the persona. It's better if people think that I'm available.
Oh, that's a good point. And
Oh,
since
right.
like, it's dropped in space, like the last thing you'd want is someone else to pick it up and be like, "Oh, I can't get with Zib, so I better stop giving bits."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
E-bug things.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Make sure the slime has your wish list so other people can.
Honestly, not a terrible idea.
so I made a list on spacethrone.com.
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say, please, you find me things off Throne.
so you examine this box, and this box has a message in it, and it's from your associate, which can mean many different things, Chiskisk. Chiskisk would technically be, they're not your boss. Chiskisk is a high-ranking Starfinder member, has never been given a rank in any of the books, just a high-ranking Starfinder member. But they have been with you since the beginning, giving you advice and pushing you in the direction that you need to go. This message from Chiskisk was sent in response to a message that you sent them, and because of the way that drift travel works, it actually arrived at its destination before you did. So this was intended to be sent and arrived later for you to pick up, but it got there before, and now you are receiving the message. In it, Chiskisk once again thanks you for your service to the galaxy and to its continued non-annihilation. Everybody has a vested interest in the continued existence of all the sentients that live here. They have informed much of the Packworld's government about the very real threat of the stellar degenerator, but unfortunately, it is kind of a far-fetched and unlikely story. So, amassing the resources in time to do anything significant would be almost a waste, since you guys are there already. They have attached a stipend for each of you of 2,000 credits. So please add 2,000 credits to each of your sheets.
Oh, I'm not broke. Amazing.
Finally. Yeah. And they unfortunately have very little information about the system that you're going into and the challenges that you're going to face. You, 4 Starfinders, are on the verge of what is known about the galaxy. There are an infinite number of unknown and lost things that you could stumble upon, and the thing that you decided to stumble upon was a star-killing galactic superweapon. So unfortunately, it's kind of up to the 4 of you, whether you like it or not, to make sure that the universe keeps existing. Because it's not like it would blink out of existence. Everybody would die a pretty horrible death if their sun suddenly became not a sun. So whether, morally or just pragmatically, it'd be good for you guys to stop that from happening. The last thing that Chiskus says is that he is aware of the corpse fleet's kind of outlying activity, in at least interest in the stellar degenerator. They've been kind of putting some of the pieces together, and they think that there may be some kind of like observing force powered by the corpse fleet that is keeping track on you guys, the Devourer cultists, and the stellar degenerator. Unfortunately, that's not actionable information. It is just another thing that you should be aware of.
Here's a question above the table or below the table. The Oxians, they don't need oxygen, or they can live in pretty cold conditions. Eox is basically a dead planet. Would Eox continue to survive with no sun?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, like they grow flesh in vats, and they use it for food and for necrographs and for houses. The Marrow Blight lady that you fought literally had a house made out of bones and wrapped flesh, so that's fun. And I'm sure there's things that can live in total darkness, but it would be a universe of nightmares mostly. Yeah. So with that, the message ends, and there's really nothing else attached to it besides the link of 2,000 credits apiece. You're about a day away again from the gate of the 12 suns. You can see it in the distance. There is a ring of stars that seems to hover in one spot of the galaxy in front of you. The drift beacon probably dropped you out this far because there is a huge gravitational anomaly around and inside the ring that would severely fuck up your spaceship. So you'll have to travel to it using your boosters. So you have another day of kind of boring travel as you get closer and closer to this thing. But as you do, it starts to come into view, and Horatio, it is now within scanning range.
Okay.
So you're probably about You're probably about 3 hours away from it. So why don't you go ahead and just make a computer's check. And if anybody would like to aid him, that is perfectly.
I think I'm.
Never mind. Never mind.
Oh.
Yep, you got it.
Got it.
Yep. And also because Quilius helped you, you get a +5, so you got a 41. Okay.
Yeah.
Horatio, do computer good. Okay. So in front of you, like I said, is the Gate of 12 Suns, and around each of those suns is a planet. So I'm just going to read you straight from the book what it says about each of these things. And you got that +5 from Quilius, which puts you so far over. Baby, you're doing great. Okay. Scans reveal that a single planet orbits each star at exactly the same distance. The planets have roughly the same diameter, mass, and rotational period. Even stranger, each planet's orbit is synchronized with all the other planets in the system so that every so often they all face the center of the circle at the same time. The gravitational forces exerted by the 12 stars is in a delicate balance, achievable only with exacting measurements and more than a little magic. These forces make navigating through the system very difficult, and using a drift engine within the system is impossible. The safest time to attempt to reach one of the planets is when its orbit reaches the point farthest from the center of the system, though it is by no means simple. You'll still have to navigate past the gravitational wells of each planet, each sun, and the combination of those. In addition, 11 of the planets are lifeless hunks of rock with no atmosphere. Only one can sustain life, and it is, in fact, teeming with it. On that planet with life on it, there is a single intact structure.
What do we know about that structure?
Nothing yet. It's too far away. But you do try to zoom in on the planet itself. And you actually, as you're looking at it, you zoom in on the planet and you're noticing that all these planets do the same thing at the same time. The occasional burst of gravitational energy emanates from each planet as it reaches the point in its orbit where it is closest to the center of the system. The energy comes from a hole in each planet's crust at the equator that seems to reach straight down to the planet's core. Ian, could you make me a physical science check, please?
Yeah, I rarely get to use that. I'm pretty good at that.
Excellent. Could you make me a mysticism check, please?
Yeah, as you know, mysticism and like physics are kind of like the same thing. We just you never mind.
It's just physics that you haven't figured out yet.
Yeah, I don't know either of them. That's how they come out.
A PC who succeeds at a DC 20 physical science check deduces that the release of this energy likely keeps the system stable. A PC who then succeeds at a DC 20 mysticism check surmises that, if focused properly, the energy can be used to open a large portal to another plane.
Let me break it down to you guys in terms that you'll understand. So, Clara, you know how like you use like a high-powered scope, and like essentially that makes your bullets a lot stronger because you can like pinpoint the accuracy of where you're firing. And you know, Captain, you know how like you have like ring lights and then you have like different types of webcams with different types of like apertures. And then, you know, like PAX, you know how like when you really got to pump yourself up, you just like listen to the theme song to Mind Wars, you know, like, yeah, like these are all kind of working in conjunction to do that.
For the first time in 165 years, Jimothy falls asleep. But yeah, he's basically right. All of these planets seem to be facing the middle of this system and releasing some kind of gravitational energy that does something. It seems to keep the system in check, and it also, if it were focused and powered, it could theoretically open a plane to somewhere else, perhaps a demiplane that stores some sort of galactic super weapon. And the last piece of information that you learn is that now that you're exploring the planets themselves, the deep scans of the system's planets reveal small cosmic strings, one-dimensional defects in the fabric of space that produce gravitational waves mystically contained within each planet's core. These cosmic strings are maintained by massive technomagic devices kept in working condition by armies of maintenance bots. Now, above the table, I don't know how you got a scan of that from as far away as you are and deduced that amount of information from the scan that you made. However,
it's simple because like there's no organics on the unmanned ones, but they all seem to be like operationally. They all seem to be like moving at like optimal operational capacity. So the only like logically, I would deduce that they're non-organics. They have to be automated. There has to be like automated maintenance for these.
has to be. So over the course of the next 2.5 hours, you're going over all this information and relaying it to the rest of the crew and kind of trying to figure out what you're about to get into and what the system actually does. And you decide, I assume, to go check out the planet with life on it.
No, I'd like to go to every dead rock first.
So you decide to go to the
planet
planet. You decide to go to the planet that the only planet that has something on it, which is the planet with life and a single intact structure. And as you do, as you start approaching one of these planets, from the vicinity of this planet, a trio of ships approaches, one large ship and a pair of escorts speeding alongside. All sensors indicate that they are on an intercept course. The comm channels screech to life, and a gaunt man leers towards the camera lens. His skin is dark, but is made nearly iridescent by a swirl of glowing nanites. Long silver dreadlocks and an unkempt charcoal beard frame his face. The distortion of the lens puts a shade of menace to the man's movements and appearance. And he says, "Are you ready for the end?" The question hisses out from a mouth of brown, crooked teeth. A yellowish, soapy spittle flies forth with every syllable uttered. "I am the agent of oblivion. I am the fang of the devourer. I am the herald of annihilation. I will sing when your bodies then only shells drift and twirl through the void. Charred amid the tangled wreckage of your ship, and your journey to nothingness is nearly complete." Everybody please make a culture check.
Can anybody understand a word?
Something about dying.
Seems like the kind of thing that you should respond back with strength. Strength, showing strength is a sign of respect. We should fire a shot across his bow to show we respect him.
He is actually super far away right now, and you wouldn't be able to hit him. Zip.
Make a wet fart noise into the mic.
This seemingly terrifying person is an entity known as the Jangly Man. The Jangly Man is a nefarious former pirate who reveled in destruction and general piratery until he heard the call of the void and decided to join up with the cult of the Devourer. He is well known for his cruelty and for his unorthodox communication with the rest of his crew. And he and two fighters are flying at full speed directly towards you with their weapons engaged. And when we come back next week, we will figure out what happens as the crew of the Sunrise Maiden faces off against the fleet of the Jangly Man.
You're probably gonna win, because that's a dumb name.
Can't wait
Easy
to blow
peasy.
the pee poo poo man out of the sky.
Yeah, he's called the Jangly Man. That is his name.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure.
Swing and a miss, guys.
Don't know what jangles, but it be jangling. So, guys, we did it.
Long.
Season 3, Episode 1 is done.
Woo! That's pretty
Uh,
crazy.
If you are watching us not on YouTube, you should check out our YouTube channel. This has all of our videos from before, and it will also feature this video in the next couple of days. If you want to follow us on Twitter before it implodes, please follow us on Twitter. If you want to check out my Starfinder Infinite creations, please follow that link and check out the things that I have, the modules that I have written and posted. This week, I will be on the Chaotic Wholesome Talk Show with Kay, and
He's great.
be discussing things like actual play production and Baldur's Gate 3. And I have some spicy takes. So check that out. That's on Tuesday on the Chaotic Wholesome Twitch channel. And in the next coming weeks, we're going to be recording another episode February 11th. I'm sorry, February 18th. That'll be episode 2. And then we'll be off the week after that. And then we'll go to an every other week, every other Sunday, recording and posting formula. And in between that, make sure to follow us on YouTube, because we're going to be cutting those up into shorts that we're going to be posting throughout that 2 weeks to show everybody how fucking good we are.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
So, as long as you guys don't have any more questions, comments. Okay. Players, thank you for playing. Viewers, thank you for viewing. Paizo, thank you for making Pathfinder and Starfinder. Those are all the links that you need to follow, and I think I've said everything that I need to say. So everybody, please look at the camera and wave and say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
When you're coming from the black, you want a place that reminds you of home. You want traditional foods like our Eoxians cadaver digits, fresh fried every cycle, or tacos made the Spathany way, flavored with real asteroid salts. With quality finding up with a syndicate, but at prices any corporate collar can afford. So after you dock, head over to the Eye. We're open all cycle, every cycle, ready to treat you like family, hive mind, or brood clutch. Spacies, you're gonna like the food you eat from the restaurant that I own.
Hi, thanks for watching this episode of Dead Sundays. I'm going to do a little bit of credits, and then we're going to get out of here. Zib Beverage was played by Steph. Clara247 was played by Beck. Pax Duro was played by Ryan, and Horatio Raj Cruz was played by Ian. I played everybody else. This is a list of all the shows the list of all the programs that I use to make this show. You should check them out. You should pay for the premium tiers. You should tell your friends about them. You should have a good time. You should always tip your bartenders, and you should always buy a present for somebody on their birthday. Enjoy!